My fellow nerds and gangsters, all zero of you who are watching this right now, let's maybe wait for a few people to join us. Um, Today, what do I want to talk about? There's still zero people here, so I'm going to give away the secrets of all the fan film right now while there's zero of you. Let's see. Let's see. Um, it's all an illusion. None of it really exists. Yeah. Oh, we got one person. All right, who do we got? Comment. Who do we got here? Yeah, there we go. All right, so Titan 360. Will it be in episode 3? Well, we got to get to episode 2 first, man. Oh, episode 2. Okay. I'm hoping. Man, we are number 2 on trending right now. Somehow, I got no idea how, on YouTube, and it's super sweet. So, I'm hoping there's gonna be an episode 2. We won't really know until probably a month or so at least. So, all right, what's up, Dale Erdman? Hey, man. So, guys, I want to answer some of your questions about the fan film if you have any. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you watched it many times. Watch it again and again and again and again. Hopefully, you'll discover new things that you maybe didn't notice in the first go around. Um, so, I think we're still on trending. I'm not sure though, but it was amazing. Thanks, most random gamer ever. Appreciate that. Um, so it's kind of it's been fun. I haven't really kind of stepped away a little bit. My wife's been keeping me updated. Just I don't know. I needed a little I needed a little separation just for a few minutes. Okay, so hit like if you haven't. Okay, we got 10 people. We're in double digits now. So Titan 360 is asking, can I be in it? Be in episode 2? We our biggest goal always for this entire series is be a fan film for fans made by fans. It's a huge deal for us. So that's why we've opened auditions to all of fans basically, and not just going directly through acting agencies and stuff to find professional actors. Um, and so if you've auditioned, then I promise you, I will watch your video and we'll cast who we feel is our best for the roles. So that's all about all I can say. Titan 360. Clavis says loved Vader. Sweet, thanks, man. Pretentious username. That's so funny. I would have watched it immediately after it came out, but I was at the movies. So you're at the movies and you missed a movie. All right. What movie did you see? Michael Cavacuti says I just watched it. Sweet, man. Watch it again. Hit like and comment and share on the video if you haven't already. My goal, this is my personal vain goal. I really am hoping for 1 million views in 24 hours, just so I can like have that engraved in my tombstone. This man made a Vader fan film that got 1 million views in 24 hours. Not that I'm planning on dying anytime soon. You saw Spider-Verse. I've heard it's good. How is it? You know, I've been so MIA from any movies the last few months, really, as you can imagine. So, let's see here. Lots of love for you and the team. Thanks, Michael. Bandicoot, you think we're going to hit 1 million in 24 hours? I hope so, dude. I hope so. Um, so keep watching it, keep sharing it. It's funny. Like I've shared the video a few times on like my personal Facebook page, and I've shared it a few times. And then I got a call today from an old friend of mine, and he's like, "Dude, are you freaking kidding me?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like he kind of sounded upset at first, and then he's like, "Did you make this? Did you direct this?" Because he saw my name in the credits. And this person is a friend with me on Facebook, and somehow we still missed it. So the Facebook algorithm, maybe doesn't share it as well as I would like. But he said a friend of his shared it with him and said, "Dude, you got to see this." So keep sharing it like directly with people too. Like if you know anybody, just share it directly with them. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? Are we going to see cameos from any prequel characters or original trilogy characters in the next parts? There's going to be a little bit of love for characters that you know. So yeah, I won't go into much detail. It's really not a huge secret because we released an entire casting breakdown of all the characters we were looking for. There may be a few other surprises in there, but for the most part, it's kind of out there. So if you want to take find that casting breakdown somewhere, I believe it's still on the failed Kickstarter page. You can find it there, and you can find out which characters are coming up, and maybe I'll answer a few questions. Maybe not, though. I don't want to give any spoilers. Jake the Gearheart says, I just texted one of my friends about it. See, that's the ticket right there. You know, I've sent a few personal emails to old professors of mine from USC where I went, you know, just saying, hey, thanks so much for everything you taught me. You know, I used a lot of what you taught me, you know, in directing this. And it's by no means perfect. I know it's not. I'm the first one to admit it. But it was great. It was super fun to make. All right. Squared to Tomato Films says, just uploaded some pics inspired by the fan film on Instagram and tagged you. Have you seen them? I haven't been on Instagram since this morning, so if you did it since this morning, then no. Oh, someone's calling me. It's the producer. Hey, Mr. Producer Man, you're on a live stream with a grand total of 25 people.
Hey, how we doing?
We're doing good. Let me call you back afterwards, okay?
All good.
All right, thanks. All right. That was Ian McClellan, one of our producers. Him and Brandon Hall really killed it. They're fantastic producers. I met them in school, and that's why I used them. Or hired them. I didn't use and abuse them. Okay, so hello there, Janabot. All right, so Novaxmus says, will you direct episode 2? Currently, that's the plan. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars Theory wants me to direct episode 2. I want to direct episode 2. If Dupree Jones isn't totally fed up with me, you know, by making him, you know, get on the ground in his Darth Vader suit, then yeah, the plan is for me to direct episode 2. If we make it. That's the biggest thing. Okay. All right, so Vandecoop asks, Buck Stormcloak, already shared it on the Facebook Stars community. I'm in a personal fake post page. Dude, sweet man. Share it directly with people too, because then you know that people are seeing it. So Vandecoop asked a good question. All right. Why was there a mix of Wolfpack troopers and shock troopers in the film? Shouldn't there be more consistency within the clones? What was the reason? Because of the budget constraints or something else? That's a fantastic question. And truly, the short answer is just that those are the clones we could find. We sent out a message to every basically clone trooper within the Southern California region, like as far as Arizona and everything like that, and Northern California. And just on that day, there just happened to be 4 clones available. And we sent this out months in advance too. You know, so it's not like it was a last minute thing. And at one point we had like 9, but it just got down to 4, 3 of which were shock troopers, and one of it which was Wolfpack. So it's Ohan Gazarian, Matt Shipley, C.J. Brown, and John Rodriguez, 4, you know, stellar guys. And then we also had 2 TKs that you guys may not notice, but they're in there. They're in the fight, and they're in the last scene. That's Mike Lewis, Jeff Leone, and then we had a few other officers as well. But anyways, it was mostly just that's what we could find. And most of the clones out there, a lot of the clones at least, are Rex, which we can't have Rex in this movie. It just would not fit in the canon at all, because Rex is long gone by this point. But the plan is, if we do episode 2, is we're going to actually fabricate our own 501st armor. So that's the plan. Okay, but that's a great question. And the story-wise is just simply in the first scene that when he's choking, if you haven't watched the fan film yet, go watch it, because we're going to get into spoilers. And share it and like it and comment on it. Is the idea that there's just the idea of somebody attacking the Emperor, especially Darth Vader, is an unprecedented event. And so it's all hands on deck. Anybody who's even within the vicinity is running into the throne room to stop Vader. So you do have, you know, the shock troopers who, you know, are with them. Of course, the Royal Guards are long dead. They were killed by Vader with the Force prior to this. So an interesting little tidbit is that prior to this scene, we're getting in media res. Like, we're getting exactly in the middle of an ongoing scene. Vader and Palpatine, Vader confronted Palpatine about Padme and about, you know, when are you going to teach me to save her and all this stuff. And when he starts choking the Emperor, the Royal Guards rush him. But Vader he pulls a Yoda basically from episode 3, and he smashes them together, and they drop down and they die. So that's why there's no lightsaber marks or anything like that. A, Vader has not ignited his lightsaber yet. B, he's killed them with the Force. That's why they're just straight up dead. And so, okay. So that's, as a director, you approach, you tell your actors those things. These are the circumstances. This was what's been going on. And so Dupree, he knew what he was, why he was starting where he was starting. And so then we come into the line, just, I will not be denied. Like, I will not. And what he's referring to is, I will not be denied the power you promised me. I will not be denied, denied the power to save Padme, denied all the power of the dark side. Anakin at this point just still doesn't really understand that in order to fully experience the power of the dark side, he has to fully give himself to it. Like Sidious says, pledge yourself to the dark side fully, Lord Vader, and relish in the gifts it bestows upon you, or whatever he says. All right. Woo! Let's see here. I loved it. It really inspires me to make my own movie. Good. I hope it does. Okay, as for mixing legions, you can explain that away as being a dream sequence. Yeah, we can. And we know the 501st is there, so there's no reason why they're keeping multiple legions working on the siege. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it was a budgetary reason and just logistical reasoning, but yeah, that's what I feel too. I'm like, yeah, conceivably there could be multiple legions. Okay. Let's see here. It'll be a lot easier to make the next one because you can now point to this film to prove that to you can actually make a good film and people aren't wasting their money. Maybe. Yeah, man. I loved how the film had its own Star Wars, own style, and still felt like Star Wars. Yeah, my style-wise, I'm very influenced by Spielberg and Peter Jackson, a little bit of Christopher Nolan, um, my youngest son crying, um, and so there's like a lot of push-ins, like a lot of camera push-ins and stuff like that. Not zoom-ins, but like actual camera push-ins. And so, what do we got here? What's playing here? I'm gonna get back to the fan film because that's coolest. That's the coolest. All right. And so yeah, it's a little bit different than like a George Lucas style and stuff like that. All right. Uh, what movie do you want to direct? Star Wars. All right. Do you currently know how much Star Wars Theory has collected for Episode 2? I actually don't. Star Wars Theory and I don't talk about money very much. So, all right. Will there be any change of cast in the second episode? Currently, no. Not currently. Is it Mace at the end or Kenobi? Look real closely. It's an amethyst blade. Amethyst is this purplish color, and there's Mace Windu. So, all right. Let's see here. It was in the fan art. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Okay, he planned it was Mace. Yeah, it's Mace. Will there also be an epilogue to the entire series or to the episode? Not really. No, we kill ourselves just to get this out for you guys. All right, I've been binge watching reactions to the film since this morning. Thanks for everything, man. Is there a lot of reactions out there? I haven't even looked. All right, what line from the movie is your favorite? That's a really good question. I think my favorite line is, "Such a pity if you had but had the temerity to let's see here. No, such a pity. How much grander and more powerful you could have still become if you but had the temerity to embrace the path set before you." I don't know why. I just like the way that line sounds. I think it was just such a Palpatine line to say. And I also, of course, like "Lost troopers do not concern me. I want that Jedi. I will use the 501st." I thought that line was cool too. Okay. I'm getting a little behind here. Sidious is secretly your character. Yeah, man, I was. And that's my other little boy. I'm not sure what he's crying about. All right. Yes. Yeah, I played the Sidious character in my high school fan film. If you haven't checked it out, check out my channel. All right. Will we see any elements of the Imperial High Command structure, like Commodore or any admirals or Grand Admirals? There are a few officers in the mausoleum sequence in the background that are high-ranking officers. It's Lieutenant Barrow Oinkum who contacts Vader when he's in his chamber. He's from episode 3, but he's just a lieutenant. Um, we felt it was a safe bet to have him be that character. Um, but you're gonna see the direction the story is gonna take in the next episodes, and I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. Let's see here. Let's see. Will the bounty hunters like Boba Fett and Bosk be in this fan film? That's a super good question. We actually tried to get Daniel Logan to play Commander Fox at the end, and take off the helmets and everything. We thought it would be super cool, but he just wasn't able to be in it, probably because of union stuff, and I don't know. He just said he wasn't able to be in it. Maybe he just didn't want to. Who knows? But we the question has always come up: are we gonna have Boba Fett in this movie because of his relationship with Mace Windu? And honestly, no. Boba Fett will not be in the series because then it becomes a movie about Boba Fett and Mace Windu. It then completely destroys the Vader Mace Windu thing that we're going to have going on. So I hate to disappoint you, but that's another movie. It's another story completely, and we want to tell a good story for the sake of the story, not just do pure fan service, which of course we're also trying to do, but we want to be true to the story at the same time. All right. Take a seat, young Skywalker. Are there scenes already filmed for the next episode? No, there are not. We had very little time to film what we did. All right. Asking for everyone here. Is it possible to be hired as a production assistant on episode 2? It is absolutely possible. We're always looking for extra help. If you're willing to work hard for very little, then you're our guy. I don't know where we're gonna film episode 2 yet. That's still in the planning stages. It could be in a variety of places. It may not be in LA. But if you are interested, email vaderfanfilm@gmail.com. With your info for sure. And if we don't respond within like a month or two, shoot us another email. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. I will use the 501st. What was your favorite lines, guys? I want to know what your favorite lines are. Did you have a favorite line, or was it just all horrible? I will not be denied. Yeah. So let me tell you, the original line in the original script, which is sitting over here in this messy little pile, the original line was, "Your failure is now complete." And then he says, you failed to teach me to save her. You failed, and Vader lists all these things, and it was very expository, very expositional dialogue. And then when Nikolai came on board, the other one of the writers, he's like, "Danny, I'm giving the boot to that line. No, no, no." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you can't just quote Star Wars movies. You got to come up with your own dialogue. You need your audience to be in the moments, not thinking of, oh, that line's from this movie, And so that's why we went with the line, "I will not be denied," because it was very Vader, we felt, but it also was a line we haven't heard before. So that's why we went with that line. I like that line too. What are your guys' favorite lines? All right. Let's see here. Whew, man, you guys are tearing it up here. "I will not be denied" is becoming trending. Part 2 in 2020? We'll see, man. We'll see. What is it? It's 2018 right now. I mean, best case scenario is next December. We'll see what happens. Yeah, very similar to "Asteroids Do Not Concern Me," Admiral. Yeah, totally. There's, a definite correlation between "Asteroids Do Not Concern Me" and "Lost Troopers Do Not Concern Me." It's his manner of speech, and yeah, it's not an accident. Will we ever get to see the early scripts for the fan film? Yeah, I think at this point, yeah. I think that's something that we can definitely release, and you guys can see like the genesis of it all and how much it changed, which happens, and it's okay for scripts to change. They should, because your first script always sucks, always. Your last script may suck. I mean, my last scripts always suck. So, all right. Let's see here. I watched the fan film this morning with my friend, Swedish time, and I was completely blown away. Knew it was going to be awesome, but this made me believe again. Hey, thanks, Novaximus. Appreciate that. The Vader fan film is now number 43 trends in Switzerland. There's trending in Switzerland? Sweet. Share it. Share it directly to people, guys. That's the biggest thing. Share it directly to people. Like the video. Comment on the video on the fan film. I mean, you can feel free to comment and like here as well. Um, but yeah, just do whatever you can. If you directly can send it to people, the better. All right. Hello there. All right, and that is why you'll never defeat me is my favorite. Oh, so did you guys, was that a surprise when Padme opens her eyes and all of a sudden she's like Sith yellow? Um, I hope so. I mean, in the screenings that we had on Thursday night, there were gasps every time, and it was just like it was such a cool experience because we go from this super, tender moment between Vader and his dead wife and his lost wife, who he's finally reconnecting with, to that jigs up, sucker, from Sidious. All right, make way for the boys in blue. Yeah, that was a very late edition, actually. We recorded it with Derek Goheen, a month ago or so, whenever we recorded his lines. But actually being added to the film was last Friday, because I was a little bit concerned that when he said I will use the 501st, the casual viewer would have no idea who the 501st is. But with the line "Make way for the boys in blue," but when he says "Make way for the boys in blue," it at least communicates to the casual viewer that another team is coming in. And you don't have to know who the boys in blue are or the 501st, but at least you need to know that it's another team. It was one of Star Wars Theory's favorite lines too, actually. And that is why you'll never defeat me. Another one, cool. Number 6 in the UK, really? Sweet. We're number 2 in the United States right now, at least. It'd be sweet to get to number 1. Just want to say you do not disappoint. This has united everyone together. Thanks, Farhan. All right. Also, it's not too bad to have lines from the Star Wars series. Star Wars loses lines all the time. No, I agree. I mean, that's why, we have, there's a great disturbance in the Force. We totally got that line because it is a very Star Wars line. The only line that we did not have is, I have a bad feeling about this. Quite simply because it didn't really fit into what we have going on, but it is, I promise you, in episode 2. It is absolutely in episode 2. Love the beginning of the movie. Reminded me of Rogue One. Sweet. Of course, there's inspiration taken from the Rogue One scene. I mean, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't. Will Starkiller, aka Vader's apprentice in the Force Unleashed, be a part of this film? I'm not saying he should, but he could be doing tasks that Vader asked him to. But will Galen Merrick be in this? Probably not. Yeah, that's all I can say. Who is your favorite character in the fan film? Probably, Vader. But honestly, I love Sidious too. I mean, it's interesting to me that we wrote this big movie called Vader, yet Vader has like 11 lines in the entire film. Sidious has over 30. I love Sidious. I think Sidious is a fascinating villain, a fascinating character. And this is as much a story about him trying to encourage his apprentice to fully embrace the dark side while this apprentice wants to kill him. Why would Sidious do all that? And so it's this father-son relationship. That was so important to me, that this was a father-son relationship about how Sidious is trying to use tough love to shake his son into achieving his potential. So that's what I enjoyed most. Well, not most, but I enjoyed that quite a bit. Well, Sweden is still quite tough. Okay, let's see here. I sent a fan-made TV spot for the fan film today. Check it out if you can. P.S. My favorite line is, "You failed to save her." Yeah, so you will suffer for your deceit, and so for your failure to save her. And the reason I said this last night, the reason we had him say her instead of Padme is we wanted to save the word Padme for when Padme actually came. Okay. That was a great movie, thanks. And will we see any... No, Rex is gone by this point in the timeline. He's not a clone trooper anymore. He's not working for the Empire. So it would really be a forced cameo or character to have Rex in the movie. It'd be super sweet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Rex. I love him. But it's it's like Rogue One didn't have Luke Skywalker. It would have been sweet, but it also wouldn't have made any sense for the story itself. So, who did Dylan Poor voice in the fan film? So Dylan Poor voiced Lieutenant Baron Oikum I have no idea how to say that name, by the way, but uh, he's the one who says, Lord Vader, you have an urgent message. Lord Vader, the Emperor demands your presence at once. He was that guy. And he did a great job. Fantastic job. He also voiced some of the officers in the opening scene, as well as a lot of the background voices in the very last scene as well. So Dylan is a really talented voice artist, and we were happy to still keep him on board. All right, let's see here. The dialogue was phenomenal. Hey, thanks, man. We worked hard. What place is it on trending in the United States? It's currently number 2, I believe. Should we take a look? Or maybe someone else can tell us? Hopefully we didn't drop down. We're still number 2. We are still number 2. I'm just stoked that we're even number 2. Okay. Power. That's how. Yeah, I like that line. And one of my favorite parts about that line is that Sidious isn't, he's not overwhelming with it. Like, we could have totally had him say, power, that's how, but, unlimited power, but instead, I just wanted him to say that the answer's obvious, that the Force isn't complicated. Power, that's how. So I love the way Steve delivered it on set, and Bradley matched it wonderfully. Okay, let's see here. Do you want George Lucas to direct a new Star Wars movie? I would love it, to be honest. Yeah, I would love to see George Lucas's take on another film. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a smart move too. All right, the scene when Palpatine is talking to Vader reminds me of Snoke talking to Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi. The tone of Vader speaking sounds innocent. I like it. Cool, man. Glad you liked it. Just gonna say... I'll skip over that one. I like all Star Wars movies. Just gonna say that. All right, it's cool how Sidious calls him Anakin Skywalker, but not directly, kind of. He says that Anakin is better than Vader, which got to me. Which got me like, OMG. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Vader at this point, according to our story, he's such in an awkward place, in a difficult place where he's turned to the dark side to achieve all this power and save his wife and to get everything that he wanted. Yet, it's no different than being like the Jedi. He still feels constrained. He feels like he's even weaker than he was because of the suits and because of everything that's going on. He doesn't have his wife anymore. So Vader just straight up sucks to a degree. I mean, he doesn't suck, but he's feeling that this powerlessness and this worthlessness, and he wants to kill Sidious. He truly does. He wants to get revenge against him. But if he were to kill Sidious, what would happen? Well, how would his life change? It wouldn't. Because Vader doesn't know how to fully commit to the dark side, so it's not like he can become this Grandmaster Daddy of the Sith. And so Sidious is trying to help his son to get out of his funk. And Vader is resisting that. So, all right. I loved how you added the line from Rebels, Anakin Skywalker is weak, I destroyed him. Yeah, that was one of the really few lines that we lifted from somewhere else. Not because it was like, oh, that's the perfect line for it, just because it's what naturally we thought of. And it's this idea that Vader, but the meaning is different in this context. Vader's in denial right now. By Rebels, yes, it was true. Anakin Skywalker was dead. But at this point, maybe, I don't know how much even Vader is convinced of it, to be honest. All right. Let's see here. Johnny 5 says, this movie made me feel love for Star Wars again. Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's amazing how you pull off creating Vader into a good antagonist. In the original trilogy, we see him as an emotional cyborg who didn't take no for an answer, but you made us relate and root for him more. Thanks. That was really actually important to me, that we see him as the protagonist of this film. Sorry, guys. I will call you back. I'm doing a live stream. Okay, thanks. Bye. That was my daddy-o, who helped a lot in this film. But yeah, we really wanted to make him feel like a protagonist, and we wanted us to be able to relate with him, which is one of the many reasons we included the Padme Vader scene. And this idea that we wanted to know right off the bat, we wanted action, We want to know what Vader wants at this moment. He wants his wife back. He wants, this validation that he wants the power that he was promised, but most importantly, he just wants what he had. And he just is not, he feels hopeless right now. Okay. When Vader stopped all those blaster bolts, it was a little cheesy though. Oh, sorry, Kumar. I think it's one of the coolest parts in the movie. Why is Mace Windu on Naboo when he was defeated on Coruscant? Hey man, were you listening to the dialogue? Sidious explains it. When he says the clones there report he wields an amethyst blade, Vader kind of like moves his head, and Sidious straight up says it's no coincidence. He draws you there because he knows who you are, Lord Vader. There's a big reason why Mace is drawing Vader to Naboo. I'm sure it's not any secret. I mean, I think you can figure that out pretty easily. So yes, Mace knows about Padme. So there's a reason. Let's see here. Will we see regular 501st clone troopers in the next episode or later? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of 501st in the next episode. Vader's loss of power was the best thing you guys brought out. Thanks, man. That was really important to me. Especially that chamber scene, the ending shot. I mean, there's two shots in the scene, but sweetie, that ending shot where we pull out, it was always meant to show Vader's powerlessness. And then when we cut to Sidious, we show Sidious looking out the window to see the Death Star being constructed. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the Death Star is being constructed outside the window. And you see Star Destroyers. So it's like this juxtaposition that Vader has nothing from turning to the dark side, yet Sidious has gained everything as a result. Let's see here. Who did the location scouting? Was it you? Prince Supra. What's up, man? Prince Supra did, among many shots, the shot of the clone trooper falling into frame with the big blast marks right after Vader sends all the blaster bolts back at the clones. Yeah, I did. I didn't find this location, actually. It was Brandon Hall, one of our producers, who found the mausoleum scene. All the rest of the scenes were... hold on a second. I hope that doesn't screw up my Wi-Fi. I keep the door open so I can get a better connection to the Wi-Fi downstairs. But our producer found the mausoleum sequence. That was our only on-location set. All the throne room was built on a stage in South LA. Okay. Sorry, I'm going up to the comments. When is the next episode coming out? Last Leo Watto. Just share the video like crazy. This first episode. Share it like crazy. Don't even stop after today. Tell people about Star Wars Theory's channel. Tell them about his Patreon. Join the channel. The more money his channel can just make, the more money he has personally to fund the next episode. That's how it works. I mean, we can't ask for money directly for the film because Lucasfilm told us we can't. And look, I like Star Wars movies, and I don't want to. I want to follow what Lucasfilm is telling us first episode. So, and some people have asked if they gave any input on. All right. Let's see here. Last scene was fantastic. Cool, man. That wasn't an opening scene. I don't know what. Cool, man. Have you wrote the scripts for the next episode, or do you just have an idea? Asked David Bergolf. Sorry if I butchered your name. The other scripts are written. The other scripts are all completely written. We'll probably go through and make more refinements, I would imagine, because that's natural, especially after making this one and spending a few months away from the other scripts. You come at it with fresh eyes. But yes, they are totally written. If we needed to go start pre-production today, we could conceivably do it. So, even though I'm tired and I don't want to. All right. You like the purple smoke? Cool, man. I'm glad. All right. So, Pride and Accomplishment says, Mace survived his fall from Palpatine's office window. He wants to fight Vader on Naboo because he knows that he will be at his weakest there. It's pretty good, man. All right. Absolutely love Shards of the Past. Great job, Danny. Thanks, dude. Your son is angry that episode 2 didn't come out yet. That's probably exactly right. It was funny. Luke wanted to act out Shards of the Past, episode 1, today with me, and he loves to act it all out. And so we're doing it. I'm playing Sidious. He's got his full Darth Vader costume on, and I sit down to be Palpatine on the throne, say, there's a disturbance in the Force, and he's like, "Oh, put your hands up like this." So I put my hands, up like Sidious does it, And then, he draws you there because he knows who you are, Lord Vader, and I do that. And he's like, "Nope, it's the other hand." And he corrected me a bunch of times on lines and everything. He knows it better than I do. Okay. Let's see here. Danny, you're the best. Hey, cool, man. I've never seen or heard of any director doing a live stream with his fans or critics or anyone. Well, guys, I know you're not like my fans, but I know you're fans of Star Wars, and I like, when there's questions, I like to answer it, and you like it and getting your questions answered. So, Novaximus, as I butcher your name again, dude, you're living the dream. My dream is to personally direct a Star Wars movie one day. One day, you'll be able to say, "Yeah, Rasmus Novak, you commented on my live stream." Wasn't it possible to film at evening or something in LA? Just gonna reconnect. All right, reconnected. Sorry, guys, it kind of disconnected there for a second. Yeah, we color timed it darker. The light coming through the door is from his shuttle, so that's on purpose. And you guys don't know what's on the other side, with the stained glass. You guys don't know what's there yet. So, all right. But no, it was not possible to film at night. To answer your question bluntly, more expensive. Must dinero. Trendy number 2. Okay, is Vader actually powerful enough to fight Sidious? What do you guys think? You guys think that Vader's actually powerful enough to fight Sidious? I don't think so. I think he'd get dominated. I think he'd get whooped. I mean, at least at this point in the timeline. All right, here's a good question.
Got a new car.
Wow. Here's a good question from Johnny Fox. Was Sidious's throne supposed to look like Snoke's from the Last Jedi? Clearly, it's like the same throne, and that's not on purpose. I mean, that's not an accident. Excuse me. It's a subtle Easter egg. Okay, go ahead. It's a subtle Easter egg, but yeah, it's on purpose. But the idea is that Snoke actually copied the design of his throne from a throne that Palpatine had. That's our in-world explanation. I thought it would be kind of a fun little thing. I know some people may not like it, but it was cost-effective to build the throne that way, as opposed to the Return of the Jedi Palpatine throne, because it's very angular and we could make it out of wood. But yeah, so we thought, well, how could we change the design? I'm like thinking, no, let's not. Let's just keep it the same and say that Snoke, because with his obsession with the Empire and Palpatine and Vader, at least I feel like he does, he copied it. Okay. Let's see here. Who's the clone commander who talks to him in the final scene? So it's Commander Fox. Let's see here. Gaetan Lancel. Hey, Gaetan. He was our 3D supervisor. I'm going to open my door again so I get closer to the Wi-Fi. Okay, we're just going to go for a few more minutes here, guys. Let's see here. Will we see one of the Inquisitors in the film, especially since they're so prevalent in this time period in the Darth Vader comics? Wait and see, man. All right, in the last scene, it seemed like the Jedi was holding a blue lightsaber through the puddle. What happened to the Windows purple one? It's purple. Honestly, it's just going to depend on your monitor's calibration, because purple and blue are so close to... because blue and purple are so close in the color spectrum. If your monitor is just not properly calibrated exactly, and especially since it's kind of in haze and it's not a direct purple, it may look a little blue, but it's purple. So all right, me and my friends gathered a bunch of people and we watched Shards of the Past at 10 a.m. We literally never screamed as much as we did. Sweet, dude. Is Vader actually close to Sidious in power, Danny? Asked Unknown Sith. At this point, I don't think so. I don't think so. Keep in mind, the first opening scene is a Force vision. In fact, I'm going to blow your minds on this one because we never say it in the movie. It's not needed. That Force vision was given to him by Sidious. It's not something that Vader just dreamt. Sidious gave him that Force vision, just as like Snoke bridged, Kylo and Rey together through the Force. Luke, what are you doing? But that Force vision was given to Vader by Sidious. So when Sidious is like, "You're distressed. Why are you hiding my anger?" He knows exactly what it is. He's just trying to get a rise out of Vader. He's trying to, get Vader to fully give into the dark side, into his anger. So it's no surprise. Remember, okay, Luke, you can't do that, man. You can't do that, buddy. Okay. Sidious is always one step ahead of Vader. Well, 12 steps ahead of Vader, really. Okay. Let's see here. Will we see some behind the scenes footage? Yeah. Star Wars Theory, he's got a bunch. So, where's her Lightning McQueen toy? Oh yeah, my Luke is playing with Lightning McQueen toys right now. All right. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Who cares about those good holiday ham samples? Shards of the past is more important. All right. So Brooke TP says, the cliffhanger had me wanting more. I wanted to see Vader unleash on Sidious for real, almost at death point. It was amazing. Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate that. How long do you think it'll take to raise funding for episode 2? That's a great question. I truly have no idea. I am not super intimately knowledgeable about, how quickly. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's see here. Are there any deleted scenes as pretentious username? Not entire scenes, no. I think we've cut out a couple lines, but that's about it. But certainly no entire scenes. All right. Disney needs to watch its back, says, let's talk Star Wars. Great job, Hammer. Story Thief, 1986. You're a good director. Hey, thanks, dude. I at least try to be. All right. What was it like to be involved in this project? It was awesome. I mean, Star Wars. What other question do you guys got, guys? Off-topic question, but what's your favorite film of the year? Shards of the Past, dude. What else? That Gold Taco is still asking about Chipotle. Are you working on any other projects other than Star Wars? There's always projects in the cooker, always scripts that are being written. I really hope to make some of them shortly. Dalek Scientist asks, how did Mace survive the fallen lightning? Was there force power involved? Gonna have to wait and see. How did you shoot Star Wars Theory's cameo? With a camera, JK Ultra. In case you guys didn't know, Star Wars Theory. Luke, I gotta open this door so I'm not lagging so much, okay?
What?
I'm not opening this door. In case you didn't know, Star Wars Theory is Vader in the medical chamber. That is him. That is Star Wars Theory. So we did rehearsals just like I would with any other actor. Talked about the motivations, and the circumstances behind it. Luke, Luke, and so that's him. And it was great fun. I actually originally planned to shoot the scene a little differently, but given time constraints, I couldn't get the setups I wanted, so I changed it up a bit. And that's what you do as a director, because you never have enough time, and so you're always constantly making adjustments. All right. Will we see Darth Vader hating on sand? There is a sand moment. There is a sand moment in the next episodes. What about Russian language in Vader film? Yeah, I'm going to talk to Star Wars Theory today. We've had a bunch of fans submit translation, but we got to get them transferred to the proper format and everything. So we're working on that. I would say within a week we'll have a solid collection of subtitles in multiple different languages, including English. And I know the plan is to also eventually do a descriptive audio track as well, probably with Star Wars Theory, doing it. Okay. So let's see here. Will Mace be killed by Darth Sand. Yeah, we're done the bucket of sand on both of them. All right. So if Lucas fan knows of the fan film, would you ever ask for a writing directing job at their company? If that means directing a Star Wars or an Indiana Jones or movie, then yeah, come on, man, of course. All right. David Brugilev says Disney will see this episode and see how good Star Wars really can be and fund the next episodes because this reunites the fandom and shows how awesome Star Wars can be. I think that might be a little bit of a dream, but a cool dream. So Star Wars Theory got to be Hayden Christensen after all. Yeah, basically. Being Vader in the chamber, basically. What other questions do you guys have? Did you name your son Luke because of Luke Skywalker? Was that a coincidence? Luke is actually named after the biblical Luke. And my wife really wanted to name him Luke, but I'm like, no, we cannot name my son Luke because everybody's going to think he's named after Luke Skywalker. And but eventually, we named him Luke. Let's see here. So if you guys want to hear Danny's connection to Star Wars, check out my interview with him. Yeah, I did an interview with Let's Talk Star Wars a little while ago. Mike is a good friend. So I enjoyed the fan film more than the sequels, probably like most people. That's a stellar compliment, man. I like all Star Wars. I like some more than others, of course, naturally, but I enjoy them all. I find joy in Star Wars. Ben Johnson is asking the question again of are the next episodes written? Yep, they're all written. Well, I'm sure we'll naturally make adjustments because we've been stepped away from them for a few months, but yeah, they're all written. Who would win in a fight, you or Star Wars Theory? Is this a fight of brawn or a fight of wits? All right. You can make the Obi-Wan spinoff. Dude, that would be sweet. Although, I don't know if I'd just make him, like, be alone in the desert the whole time. I think that would kind of get boring pretty quick. I mean, let's be real. We saw Rey alone in the desert, and that was kind of boring. A hard question, but if you were to tackle directing another fan film based on a blockbuster franchise, what would it be? That's a super good question. Superman is my favorite comic book character. I've always loved him. I used to have a big Superman sticker in the back of my truck when I was in high school. But I have just never quite felt that any film has really kind of captured him the way I think it can be. I would love to make a Superman just regular movie. I mean, a real movie. All right. When will episode 2 come out? Best case scenario is next December. Remember, it takes a long time to make one of these movies and a lot of money. A big question is why wasn't it longer? Or, why wasn't it longer? There's plenty of fan films that take well over 2 years to make because, they're filming a day here, a few months later. They're doing the visual effects in their spare time. And it takes a long time to pay the money to get this out by Christmas because I want to give it to the fans. There's no Star Wars movie coming out at Christmas. And the fans have been so good to me. And guys, I'm not making this up. I want to get it out. And so that's why we really pushed. And our visual effects artists and our sound guys and our composer, they all just really worked hard to get it out by yesterday. Okay. Who's your favorite Star Wars character and why? Asked Brooke TP. I really love Vader. I really love Vader, but I really love Sidious. I mean, I like all the characters, man. Okay. Do you think Snoke will come back alive? Or isn't he even dead? First off, I think Snoke should have been Plagueis. First off. Second off, and that he, should have created Rey or something like that, like he did with Anakin. According to my theories. And that she was supposed to, be the next Sith or whatever. But I think it'd be cool if Snoke was doing a force projection just as Luke was in the last scene, and that he's not really dead. I think it'd be an interesting twist, especially to pay off a character that was built up so much then unceremoniously died. 746,000 views in 20 hours. Did that exceed your expectation? Yeah, totally. Keep sharing the video, guys. Share it directly with friends. Post it on your Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams, whatever you need to do. But let's hit 1 million views by 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we've got, what time is it? We've got 3 hours. We can do it. Okay. All right, let's see here. When did you first meet Star Wars Theory? A few days before shooting. That was when I first met him in person. What are your thoughts on the sequels? Like anybody, you know, look, I like Star Wars. I take, you know, there's a few things I certainly would have done differently. But I definitely don't hate. I don't hate on them. Snoke be better than Plagueis. All right. Darth Hammer. When I spoke to Danny, he didn't even know yet. He was apprehensive.
Hey, Dad, you were Danny.
I know him. The lightsaber glow at the end was indigo, not amethyst. Splitting hairs there a little bit. All right. Rey is OP. She should die instead of Disney making a classic Disney relationship at the end. I don't know what OP means. I guess I'm not cool enough. Let's see here. How much longer is this live going to go on? I'm going to end it here in a few minutes. I got to send some emails. If I were to direct... So, Omega Flare Production says, if I were to direct a Kenobi spinoff, I'd make it like a hybrid of Mad Max, Fury Road, and Lawrence of Arabia, where Obi-Wan Ben, in his exile, protects Tatooine from an evil group of pirates and thieves. Interesting. Ethan Network says, let's get Vader #1 to trending. Yeah, man, #1. Let's get it to #1. So share it. Like the Vader fan film. If you haven't already, comment on it. Share it like it's nobody's business. Like if it doesn't... Share it like if it doesn't get 1 million views in the next 3 hours, it's going to be taken down from YouTube. I mean, share it as if that were the stakes here. OP stands for overpowered. Oh, thanks, Bradley. Should I start a channel theorizing about episode 2 called Star Wars Theory? That'd be funny. All right. You sent it to all your friends. Thank you, Vasquez. So what is the worst thing in the film you could have changed? Well, that's a loaded question. There's always, there's always things that you would change in a movie, and this one's no different. Especially when you have a really tight deadline. But overall, I'm 99% pleased with it. So, I feel it's the best work we could have done. So, all right. Let's see here. I'm gonna do it. Let's see here. Thank you for helping deliver a fantastic Star Wars fan film. Can't wait for the rest of the series. Anybody who hasn't commented, throw a question up. There's 62 of you. I'm seeing about 10 or so here. Let's throw some questions up. Like the video if you haven't. I'd love to answer any of your questions you have about the fan film, or I'd love to hear your theories about what's going to happen. Why certain things happened the way they did. All right. Has Lucasfilm reached out about the film? No, they haven't. I don't expect them to either. It'd be super cool, but I don't. They have plenty of very talented people working for them. Bradley Klein perhaps could have been pitched down slightly. He actually was. We did pitch Bradley down. So we felt this was the closest thing of sounding natural and sounding the character. So, way ahead of you. You can only pitch down somebody so much. So, I've heard a few people saying, oh, it didn't sound like the Emperor, or Jesse didn't sound like Vader. Because they're not the same actors. It's like, come on, what are we going to do? It's like we can't hire Ian McDermott to do the Emperor. We can't hire James Earl Jones. Of course there's going to be a little difference. But if I'm going to be real, I think Bradley did a better job than Palpatine in Rebels. When it wasn't Ian McDermott. I think he's done a better job than the Palpatine in a lot of the video games. I think he knocked it out of the park, personally. I think he did a great job. And I think Jesse Gomez could nearly double as James Earl Jones. I think he sounds way better than a lot of the Vaders that we've heard in the games and everything like that. I think they killed it. So I love the clone troopers' Easter eggs, like the trooper who screamed brother when the one guy died. Thanks, man. That was really important to me, to have that human element with the clones while they're being killed by Vader, and to have one of them say brother. That was always, for some reason, I just always wanted that. To get that idea that these clones are still a tight-knit group. and that when one of them dies, they still feel it. One of the reasons I felt like the Rogue One scene it was so powerful was that line, "Help us," because you knew that these were humans and that they were scared and that they were feeling the pain of being massacred. And so I really wanted that feeling as well in our Vader scene. Would you do a voiceover for Elliot if you do a Mace Windu? I personally don't feel that he sounds like Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know who we're casting for Mace Windu yet. It's too early to tell. Plain and simple. So I can't answer that, but probably not. It was difficult to voice over Sidious. We probably would not do it with Mace. It's a lot of work, guys, to do a complete voiceover with a character, especially when you got to match lips. Vader was easy because you don't got any lips to match. So, Ethan Net. Speaking of, so Ethan says, not related to fan film, but as a filmmaker, what colleges would you recommend for a future filmmaker? I went to USC. It's regarded as the best film school in the world. I learned a lot there. I had a lot of fantastic professors. But most importantly, I met a lot of great people, like Brandon Hall and Ian McClellan, the two producers on the film, both classmates of mine. Nikolai Vipolson, one of the other writers, also a classmate of mine. Matt Holla, the cinematographer, classmate of mine. Michael Miller, classmate of mine. And so, if you want to go there for connections, that's the place. I mean, I called up Ian and said, "Hey, we need top-notch people." And he's like, "All right, let me make the calls." So, all right. So, Plasma Node. Hey, Spiff, you love the film. My only complaint is the cinematography and camera movements didn't feel very Star Warsy. In the next episode, will the camera movement be more similar to Star Wars? No, because I am not George Lucas. I am not those directors. I have my own style that I like. And so that's, my style is more akin to Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson when it comes to camera work. A little bit of Christopher Nolan, too. I wanted to add a little bit more flair to it, to be honest. I like camera push-ins. I like a little bit of handheld action. So I brought my own style to it. It's my style. And I feel like it still feels Star Warsy to me. But it's definitely not an accident. I wasn't trying to mimic George Lucas because I feel like as a director, you got to bring your own things to the table. I feel like you do a better job that way. I mean, that's the reason. But that's a great question. Very good question. Let's see here. Have you seen the Shards of the Past memes? I haven't seen any memes yet. All right. Let's see here. What are the films you directed? Asked Ike Films. Ooh, guys, throw some love to Ike Films. He did most of our Force Lightning shots. Ike, check out my channel. I've got like 2 films up there. I gotta post some more. But I've done mostly short films. I've done one feature film, but like I said last night, it'll never see the light of day. So, sorry. Okay. How did you meet Star Wars Theory? Asked Peter Pan. I met him a few days before filming. That's how. Most of everything else up to that was just phone conversations. Also, I want to say that I love the scene with the bullets being frozen in midair. Whoever had an idea for that shot was awesome. Plasma Node! Then I'm awesome. I had that idea. It's something I really wanted to see. I wanted to see Vader stop 200 blaster bolts in midair. So.
What?
Starting the pinata, Luke.
Guys, do you want to see my lightning?
They're starting the pinata, Luke. All right. Makita Gut says it wasn't.
I'm going to show him my lightning McQueen.
You can show them later. Makita Gut says it wasn't the same cinematography, yet it feels like Star Wars. Thanks, dude. That wide shot with the Royal Guard blocking Palpatine's lightning while Palpatine blocked Vader's lightsaber is a little ridiculous. Sorry, Quinn. I liked it. If I had a bigger budgets and I had a bigger set, I would have gone a lot wider with it. That was the plan. But I was on the widest lens I could. I spread them out as much as I could. It's what I could do. So if you guys want to give me $300 million so I can spend $200 a minute like a real Star Wars film, then I can maybe do a little something better for you guys. But keep in mind, an actual Star Wars film costs $2 million a minute. A minute! So, we gave you something for a little around 100 or so. We gave you 12 and a half, almost 13 minutes. So, we tried. We did our best. We did what we could. All right. let's see here. No, the fact it was so cheesy made it perfect for Star Wars. All right, thanks, Quinn. I loved it when the eyes turned from blue to yellow. Very professional. Thanks, man. We a guy named Jordan at shoot, I can't remember the company's name. In Wisconsin did that for us, and they did a stellar job making that eye transition. And the idea behind the eye transition in Vader's chamber is that Vader is not fully immersed in the dark side all the time. He's not always filled, he's not unable to focus his rage into the dark side. He's very conflicted. And so that was the idea, is that he's just not all there. That's why we had the eyes change. Came across 2 memes on Twitter. Danny, go on Reddit. I'm not going on Reddit. I stay away from Reddit. All right. Plasma Note, if you got sponsored for a few $1 million, would you go for making the whole movie, or would you make a really high budget episode 2? If we got sponsored for a few $1 million, we could easily make the next few episodes plus probably maybe another series. We're not super big filmmakers, so we're used to working on really tight budgets and trying to deliver as much as possible. Okay. Speaking of eyes, the eye changing is a meme now. Really? Oh, I gotta look that up. Do you know when we'll get a real Star Wars reveal? It was promised during the first episode drops. Yeah, man, check out his channel. He posted pictures. Check out his Instagram. He's standing there with Darth Vader. That's his reveal. Check it out. He's there. He's out there, Jerry, and he's loving every minute of it. Do you use drugs, bro? Francisco Franco. Nope, I have never used drugs ever in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never drank alcohol. So, I'm just little... This is just the way I am. So, I'm always excited. Except when I'm finishing a big movie, then I get stressed. Okay. Did you remove Star Wars Theory's swole arms in post for the maskless wide Vader shot? He looks significantly smaller than in the Insta selfie. Also that scene is, why is he bald? I'm not sure I understand your question exactly, Quinn, but that was him. We chopped off his arms in post. He was wearing green screen gloves and socks. He is pretty buff, and he had shaved his head completely for the scene because Anakin has no hair. The main problem for me is the way Vader says master. It doesn't sound like Vader. Again, you don't cast James Earl Jones, you don't get James Earl Jones. It's really that simple. I thought Jesse hit it out of the park. But honestly, if that's your biggest problem with the movie, then I'm happy about that. All right. Let's see here. If you get $2 million, would you shoot the entire film again, or would you just shoot episode 2 and 3 separately? We'd probably just shoot the next episodes. Glad to see you set up the official IMDb for the fan film. Yeah, I did it yesterday. I've been meaning to do it for weeks. Is it already posted? I gotta check it out. Because I still got a few visual effects artists to add. Alright. Guys, Vader was spot on, says Vader Plasma Note. Thanks, dude. I felt Jesse did a really great job. But yeah, actually, going back to the word master, yeah, he did say it a little differently. And we worked on it a little bit, and that was the closest we got. But I really felt he did a great job. So, are there any predictions on when we might get episode 2? Best case scenario is next December. If I can make one improvement, it should be the actor of Anakin changes his look, or a bit is recast. I'm assuming you're saying young Anakin. Look, it's always most important for me to go for acting ability over look, but I felt Merrick really looked the part. He and his parents requested that we not do a bowl cut because it would affect his chances for other roles, and I respected that. And to be honest, I never was a huge fan of the Anakin bowl cut anyways, so we kind of changed his hair. We did cut his hair and everything, significantly closer than what it was. But I thought, didn't bother me. But again, if that's like the biggest problem that people have, then I'm okay. All right. Can't you guys make a GoFundMe page? No, so Lucasfilm has given us the stipulation that we can't crowdfund the episodes. So that's why we've been uh, abiding by that. All right, guys, just a couple more minutes here. Peter Pan says, in your opinion, is this one of your best work? Yeah, because not because I think it's like the best thing I've ever done, but I think every new work that a director does should be your best work because every project I do, I learn from. So I think that my episode 2 will be my new best work, or episode 3, whatever other episodes there are. Ideally, every new project is your best work, because you learn so much with each project. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I directed a commercial for a genealogy website last year, and I learned a ton, and it was just a little commercial. So you learn every single thing. Don't abandon us. Your streams are fun. All right. Hey, if you guys couldn't crowdfund the movie, where'd you get the money from? Star Wars Theory paid for this out of his own pocket. He's fully knowing he's going to take the hits on this episode. So, it was awesome, says Bruce Lee is the best. Let's see here. Will you or Star Wars Theory make a video if Lucasfilm or Disney see your masterpiece? Oh, will we tell you guys if they see it? We know they've seen it. We know it's been sent to people at Lucasfilm, but we haven't heard anything, and I don't expect to. The face behind you, is that Mace Windu from episode 2? I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the concept art, I mean, that's Mace Windu. This concept art is all publicly available. It was released when we did our Kickstarter a long time ago. That wasn't funded, so it's no secret. All this concept art is available for you guys to see. Is there any scenes, shots that were cut from the film that you wish you kept in? No. I'm an editor typically by trade, and so I got no problem snipping things, man. I got no problem cutting things out, cutting lines out, cutting shots out. I did watch the film repeatedly with another editor, and he gave me his unbiased eyes, which was a huge help. You see the unbiased eyes right here. So if you are a director and you want to edit your own films, you have to get the expertise of another editor. It's just you have to. It's just not even a question, because they see things you don't, because they're not so close to the footage. Let's see here. For the battle damaged Vader during the fight with Mace, will you make a stunt suit to destroy? Yeah, we're gonna actually have to make a few different suits that will get destroyed. Is there any way I can come out faster than December? Movie making is incredibly tedious when you're not just like, crapping it out. And it's very expensive. And so the faster you want to make a movie, the more expensive it is. It was really difficult to get this one out so quickly. The visual effects artists and the sound guys and the composers, they'll tell you. And I'll tell you. So probably not. Probably there's not really much of a way to get it out before December. And I think December is a great release date too. You guys will go see episode 9, and then maybe we'll release this, like right after or right before or something. All right. Let's see here. 66 viewers. Oh, there was 66 viewers. So Nick Kodiani says, did you really edit the whole thing by yourself? Honestly, you should get hired with the amazing effects you did with only thousands of dollars. Well, I didn't do the effects. Keep that in mind. I actually did a few, but none of the ones that are the spectacular ones. It was our team of visual effects artists. Really great guys, led by Philip Bastian and Gaetan Lancel. They did a fantastic job. Magnus Edlund, Tim Fortran, Ruben Braun, and countless others. What is the most fun for you of making a movie? I really like the writing phase. I think that's the most fun. Vader should be on Disney's streaming service. Yeah, it should. Codfish. Okay. Danny, is word nostalgia a word Palp would even say? Curious. Just didn't feel right to me at first. I actually really like that line. That Sidious. That's one of my favorite lines because to me it actually felt very Sidious. That Sidious is constantly, he's excited to go to Naboo. and because he's excited for what's about to happen. But you know, but it's really hard to say because when you really think about Sidious, how much screen time has he really had? Not too much, you know. It's, you know, after, especially after when he's openly Darth Sidious. So he definitely talks differently. He talks with different words, and you know, it's probably a word he's never said, but neither is the word temerity. You know, that he also says that word. So we tried to give him the same voice, but use lines we never heard before, which is pretty difficult actually. You know, because you're dealing with such iconic characters, and so I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, I like to think we did since we wrote it. But I totally understand when people think, oh, it doesn't feel right. You know, it's like we see Sidious's shoes. I talked about this last night. It's no matter what type of shoes you put him in, it's not going to be the right type of shoes for some people. Even though the shoes we chose were basically the shoes he wears in Revenge of the Sith. Okay. Let's see here. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut this now. I gotta go outside with my little boy. So yeah, that's my Star Wars T-shirt. Darth Kitty. So thanks, guys, for watching. Please like the video. Most importantly, guys, go like the fan film right now. Share it. Directly text it. Email it. Whatever you got to do right now. Go do it. Do it as if we don't hit 1 million views by 7 p.m. So like we don't hit 1 million views in the next 3 hours, it's getting taken off YouTube. Like, do it like as if that were the case. So, but thanks so much, guys. Thanks for watching. I know Star Wars Theory and I are going to do a joint live stream, possibly tomorrow. I don't know yet, though, for sure. But we're going to do a joint live stream together to answer questions. So, thank you so much. Have a happy holidays. And most importantly, guys, thank you so much for watching the fan film, watching the first episode. But go share it. Do it. Talk to you guys later. All right.